challenge group, the intelligent systems group, and then the visualization people are Chris Cook's group.
All right, so
when I lived in Richmond, it's my phone number.
I think kids just did a great presentation on how they use SMW in their big organizations. Just managing like 20 different wikis. That's really hard, and it's having its own way of building applications. So now I'm going to present something that we think maybe can help other people to relieve their pressure of building applications. So we call it a widget editor. It's part of the infrastructure we're envisioning, and we will probably eventually build if people see this useful enough. It helps people build social semantic web applications using SMW as a platform. Purpose is basically to lower the bar. And this product or this type of prototype we're going to present is really the first demo, the first preview, like we call it first alpha even. So it's really a very working progress product. And first I'm going to talk about the motivation. Then our vision of a better world with SMW with Widget. Then we'll do a live demo and further talk about design a little bit, and the last some discussion. So why do we want to do this? We know people use SMW for different purposes. Content sharing, document sharing, collaboration, building structured data or collecting structured data, or even simple workflow management. And the user to do some any type of queries, any arbitrary queries that you don't have to have experts to build, like SQL experts, or even more, you can do some data mining, right, and information discovery. There's some common things people need to do. All the work items, the task. If you want to build a wiki, you need to design the schema most likely, choose extensions, and write forms. Make it look nicer, and do the templates of the visualization. And you may even need to customize the skins, and sometimes you have to write some queries that users wouldn't be able to write, or the queries embedded in the templates. So, if you can do all this, you're really expert. But the bar is kind of high to get to that. To get there, you can write everything, right? Even experts sometimes can make mistakes, or I don't know this. So how can we get more experts, more people who can do things? We figure this is better. If we can really lower the bar, by helping users getting the stuff done, that'd be just great. So I really something, it could be a lot easier for people to build things. We call it widget. First, I'll start with, nowadays people are actually just focusing on content. All the big, successful systems or frameworks like content management systems, like such as Drupal or WordPress, or even MediaWiki and SMW, part of MediaWiki sort of, like user groups. And social network services such as MySpace, LinkedIn, Webpadding, they all allow users to build their own content, basically focusing on content, focus on the data, rather than focusing on the code or design some other things. And these frameworks actually provide a lot of parameters for users to choose or customize. We call it metadata. And users customize the metadata, and they build their content. And this content is the king, So it's very successful for these frameworks. What if we can build a system just through customizing metadata? And metadata here is basically includes the code that we put in there and the content the user put in there. So it will bring a lot of power and flexibility to the system. If we got more things to user can customize, basically we got more flexibility, more customizability, more power. If we can actually link them, all this customizable stuff together, right, all this metadata together, then we got a lot more flexibility. And in Semantic MediaWiki, the content is the data. And the metadata is actually just a special type of wiki data, like templates, category, properties, or maybe even queries. So the idea is which will enable people to do metadata programming. For example, we already have something like this. In semantic forms, we have allowed values. If you just put in this, well, actually that's part of SMW, but if you put in the allowed values, the list of values, semantic form can do automatic auto-completion.
Drop down.
Drop down. Okay. But SMW plus can do auto-completion. Anyway, so yeah, it's basically you can convert the data to the logic and the UI, and it has default form also map a form, a bunch of input UI to the data category in this case. So we really want to enhance this experience by adding more support with metadata, like has range, domain, or some type of style, or some labels, maybe some order of the controls, and so on. We also want to make this more like object-oriented. The OOAD or OP object-oriented program is not really something new. It's quite old actually, but it's actually not in SMW development. When people build things, we actually don't exactly follow the OOAD idea, and we don't really have tools to enable that. And also, design patterns are also very popular, like model view and control MVC. We also don't really have anything, to offer to the user, to the developers. So we envision something called widget. Widget is basically objects. Each category, think about is a domain, is a class in the OO terminology, and we just think, associate every category with a widget. And widget reflects also the category hierarchy. All this hierarchical relationship. Inheritance will also be inherited by the widget, by the objects. For example, animal, the base class, you got person, which is derived from the animal. Then a person has employee or a patient. They have the same parent, but they're different. And also, widgets can embed other widgets, from inheritance to aggregation, basically. And that will make application construction a lot easier. If you need something, for example, here, address, you can address is a widget. It's a separate category. You can just grab it and put it into the person. The address could have city, state, country, or street, something like that. Cool. And widgets also has the UI associated with that, and it has field which maps to the property in the SMW. Here you can see each field can get some type metadata, basically like type, and some domain and range markups. And and editing also can be automatically generated. I think Daniel Michael showed you automatic semantic forms, which generates the UI from the metadata. We're going to do something very similar here. So now next one is the lab demo. The demo. Do we have a laser pointer somewhere?
There was a pen. What happened to the pen?
Oh, that's...
Check my pockets.
Yeah, so
That's okay. I think I'll just point to that. All right.
Is it on the
I
easel
have
right
one too.
there?
I've never.
It's on the easel.
oh, it's on the whiteboard. Right there. It's on the whiteboard.
Oh, okay. Actually, two laser pointers, but they're toys myself right now.
Don't point to us.
The green is dangerous.
They're my son's toy right now.
100% street.
Oh,
Oh, those green ones.
so this is a category page. You can see it's a category, and we got the category address. And this is part we customize. You can actually just create a basic page from this category. And the category widget, if you install this extension, it will automatically have this tab called category widget here. Let me see. Yeah, it's better you see it probably. It's right. Now we're done again. Let's just go. Still connecting.
I had to disconnect, reconnect.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that right now. Let me actually go to that machine. I can't see the network bar. Sorry about that. This is too far from the Wi-Fi, I think. Okay, finally. Okay, I think it's on now. So this is a UI basically, to allow you to construct and edit widget. We just showed you a widget that we constructed, but was we can add something and remove something and do some customizations and so now you see we got some sort of like info box style thing. You get some properties. You can mouse over a structure. You can make changes to just click on location, change location. Yeah, this is the thing. This is it. This is it. Let's close this one. Close this field. And let's click on the location. We change it to say, change the label to something else. Maybe call it street or something.
Street?
Yeah, street. And save it. You want to go to full screen?
Resolution problem.
Yeah, it's resolution problem, I think, yeah. And this is let's get rid of the picture here. Let's just delete it, for example. Right. Delete the field, no more pictures. And we can move up and down on this field. For example, we can move the postal code up, or city like that, then we save it. So
This one?
yeah, that's okay. Different one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And shall we just add a new one? Show the.
Okay.
We'll just do it. Then you guys ask questions. What do you want to do? We'll just do that. So now we're adding a new field for the address. What part will be the address? Maybe a link to the map or something. Yeah, that's a link to map, not pictures. We already done the pictures. We can do this later.
Table.
Yeah, table rows.
Like,
The link will be
just
straight
page.
page. We don't have. And there's some descriptions about the field. We can also specify default values. And also there's some field on the about whether this is optional or not. Actually, this is not good for default values. Let's say let's do this. I mean, let's cancel all this. Let's customize the postal code one. So let's put some default values here. Let's put in, say, 22222. It's part of Argentina, I believe. Yeah, and we can, shall we put some of this allowed by possible values here? We can say from 11111, I mean, to 999 or something like that.
That's in the number range.
Yeah. All right, 100 actually, but doesn't matter. 9999, you just. Okay. Submit. Optional new market, yep. Save it. Now we design a widget, and let's create instance here. Save it. This is automatic generated form. It has the class name. You can select countries because we have some values in the country. And if you select countries, you look at this. This part actually automatically populated. And this basically the value in the state is associated with the choice above here in the country. We just put some status. LA? Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, we should remove that. But anyway, yeah, we added
Just
something.
one is
Right,
that
we added more interaction last time. So, and the postcode here, the default value is automatically put in here. If you put something like this, it will tell you it's not allowed basically. Okay.
You can actually have zip codes that you want to do.
What?
You have zip codes that you want to do.
Yeah, I know it's 100. Yeah, I think so. We just erase it, delete all the ones. So how it works? We have this part called transaction or action connector, and this one. Basically, you can actually edit it by setting a target. You just click on this box, for example. You can click on the target. Then if you want to pick one, you just go down, scroll to the bottom. Yeah, and pick any field in the widget. Let's pick, say, postal code. Let's remove the postal code one, maybe. Let's change it to a different one. Right. now we removed one connector, you won't be able to see that anymore. We removed the connector from the state to the to the city. It's slow, I think. We have it. Now if we select LA, the city part, oh, that's okay. Oh, you just type something?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, and it won't automatically populate in this case. Let's go back to the connection editor and try to add some more transaction associations. So now let's look at the first one first. Look at this. So basically what this does is you pick a target. Here is a field called state. Then you pick a source. We call it here is a country. So if a condition, if the value of the field country changes through this, basically we'll run this expression. This is parser function. Then we'll have an impact on this target. So it will dynamically change the metadata of the widget. What it does here is you can see that if the value is US, then out this state field will be the category United States. Then if it's China, then it's Canada state. Then if Canada. If China, then we only allow 2 values here. If Shanghai or Shenzhen.
In this case, this is just a condition of the query, just use as query syntax. And the result of the query will set as the allowed value onto the property page. So whenever some more page add into this category, or even you can use property greater than, equal than, just like the use as syntax. And if you want to add more, you can use this one.
Okay.
And we can try add one. Just add
Add a new connector. Make it city, right?
And we can define source.
State. Let's do an article one.
V8, right?
V8, right? We can copy paste. Yeah. We can copy paste from the above one. It's easier.
This uses the parser function.
Right.
So this time we can just wow. And
One means this one here.
the number inside the brackets is just the 1, 2.
Right. It's sources. You can have multiple sources as conditions. And one is here. It's multiple sources condition. You could have 2 or 3 or more. That means if the state is Virginia, then we only allow value arbitrator. Now let's play with reload this one. Acting good. Actually, let's scroll down. Let's try something else than US and other people's relationship. Do the here you've got options here, and we do China. Two values from China. Yeah. That's just pages we created for we really didn't have for demo. We didn't put out Canadian states or US states. We made them provinces. And the city here only allows Arlington, right?
Yeah, I think it's still loading.
It's still loading?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Something's wrong here. It's like, it's probably caching issues.
Sorry, while you're trying to get that to work, can you say something about how this fits in with semantic forms?
This is right. This doesn't mean to be a replacement of semantic forms, but it means to be a tool for people who, if fully developed, will use it to develop, inputting mechanisms and as well as showing the. It's more like serves like a WYSIWYG editor for the form, and also we want to use the ontology to build these forms. So all this information is saved as metadata, basic markups, in the wiki page, so that we'll have a, for example, this field country will have a property called country, and and in this property has all this markup, all this information is like you put in here, right? The default values, allows values, auto completion rules, and or even some styles, the order where it should appear, first, second in the form, something like that. All this metadata will be right into the property page and different places in the wiki. So ideally, user who actually can just construct an ontology, say using G or some other tools, and import that ontology into the wiki. If user knows what the property to use, then it will automatically create everything for the user. Everything is already marked. The UI we designed is basically to for users who don't use the ontology editor and don't remember all these names of the properties, right? So you can just do it here, using the tool.
So what, does this serve the same purpose that semantic forms serves then?
It's sort of, yeah. It's also automatic semantic forms. Also, it's just the goal is eventually for application development, right? Semantic form is a tool to help wiki users, really develop applications, much easier way. And this also aims to do the same thing, lower the bar for people to enter. So if you want to design a semantic form or design the ontology basically here, right? Similar purpose with Enterprise has this onto broker. You can use Onto Studio to draft the relationship to get ontologies and then put into the system, then using automatic sync form to generate stuff. This is pretty much along the same lines of thinking. We will, I think, in the future integrate with like Protege or Onto Broker. But now, this is just a sort of proof concept stuff. So we just did this from the UI point of view with some metadata and see how this will work. But anyway, so let's go to a person. We've shown this. You can actually have a widget and design the widget through the UI. And now let's go to say a person category, and that person category we want to add, we want to embed, embed this content of address into the person. So a person will have a name and address and some other things as an email address, a phone number. This is slower than expected. I don't know why. Oh, I think what we should do, we should turn on cache. But anyway. That is weird. It shouldn't be faster than this. So what we're going to show you is we'll go to the page called person, and in this person page, we're going to show you another widget called person widget, and we'll add address as part of person, so that you don't have to construct all these details in the address. The person will just have this address embedded. Do you know what's going on? Shall we just turn? I think let's do another browser or something. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with networking or the browser. It's definitely faster than this.
Yeah, I'm having some internet problems right now.
Yeah.
What?
I'm having some internet
Oh, you
problems.
also have some.
I have a question. Does this save as property tags or as a template, or is it
Okay.
either one?
Yeah, I think we need to talk about that. We don't have a lot of time now. So yes, it saves both. It saves the metadata into the property, right? For the value of data, such as the basic markup. It saves the whole widget as a group of templates. So
the definition.
yeah, it's one widget is more like in the template. So a widget is basically a group of properties, putting together, and they're linked by this metadata. So.
Jesse,
Yeah.
have you had any issues where somebody was editing the ontology at the same time that somebody was entering data, and the ontology fell off from underneath the user? I'm curious what would happen if you removed a field at the same time that somebody was using form, for example. This will basically, imagine if you have a media wiki, you're doing the same thing, right? If you're removing a field from a template, and some people are using a form to add a template using that field, basically the value will be there, but it just won't work. So it's working. It's using the media wiki's own.
Yeah, it's underlying still media wiki's own stuff like templates, parser functions, and the markup. So what we want to show is two things. First is the basic widget editing, and the second is aggregation. We have a person, object, widget, and we add the address into the person. Then we will have another thing called inheritance. So on top of person, we have another widget called employees, and the employees derive from person, except that one more property called company. So if you just create the person object, now you can say, hey, I want to make this person an employee object. It's just as easy as either editing the person using the employee, form, or just you can just manually change the category to employee. Then when you edit, it will show the employee form in this case with all the person's data inherited.
Okay.
So I think we have internet problem. Well, we can give you some personalized demos after this. Apologize for that.
Funny if you disconnect and reconnect, sometimes it will actually.
Yeah, the connection's here. Hey, Jack. I was talking to Marcos. He thinks he can get us X or Y money for this. For the
Let me quickly
Open
go
source.
through all this.
Yeah, I'll give you advice, you can take it, or leave it. Better to ask forgiveness than permission.
That works for you. You're senior enough.
Yeah.
Marcos is good at that, though.
Yeah. How do you think I got?
So hopefully we showed you something here, like a range type, data type, widget view, live widget view, and action connector. And automatic form generation. We haven't been able to show you the aggregation and inheritance. So how we design it, we just think about SMW and OO. Doing this mapping here is relatively easy, but SMW with MVC is super hard. It's sort of mingle together all these model and views and controllers. And we're also not really using the semantics, the metadata in SMW. This is basically the model. You can see over there is the example we're trying to show you. And over here is the widget architecture, basically. We just wrap around all these things in the wiki in the widget. So it's more like a model thing. All these fields and properties and templates. And the view, we have two types of views. One is a display view, basically showing to the user after the object is done. Another view is edit view, or input mode. And they all connected through the metadata, markups, the parameters. And the controller is two types of business logic to control things. One is internal, the field internal constraints. Is in the model, you can see the property allows value and that partial function for defining queries. Another is external relationships managed by the action controller or the transaction controller, we call it here. Basically associated with the partial function. And we have the form, which is generated automatically through the metadata. You can have control over the label, different type of things, and all the options there. Optional or required info box, set the header or not, or layout with a horizontal view, which is like the table style, or the vertical means like sections, and more to be added later. And the action controller is the one really dynamically modify this metadata and link the conditions between the fields. So all these are in the metadata. I'm running over time, sorry about that. This is really our first demo, and I think we either public or private. I believe even Dr. Margaret haven't seen it, even though he's just sitting across, away from me. We found this,
But Jesse told me it would be really, really good.
so when it's done.
It is cool. No.
So,
you can see what you're trying to do here. It is cool.
Hopefully you get the idea, and this is what we want to achieve. And hopefully we really want to lower the bar for people to build applications, semantic applications like Webpack or LinkedIn, and just user just adding metadata, they got contents created. And we really need your feedback. First is, definitely, do you think will this be useful in your opinion?
Oh, yeah.
Yes
Sure.
or no?
Yeah.
Well, if yes, then next we'd really like you to help us. Either help with development or be our customer. Give some ideas, give us some feedbacks on how we can better, how we can improve, how we can shape the future, what the priorities, and what are your requirements if you really want to use it, right? Things like that, so that we can really prioritize our development efforts on the things that matters most. Thank you very much. So it's a break time, and I don't know if you checked your email. I sent out an email